Okay, today we have the President Taylor FCC little 4-watt radio. The radio is 7 3/8 long, 5 15/16 wide, edge to edge without the bracket, and 1 3/4 inch high. It uses President's standard, I guess we could call it standard by now, 6-pin microphone, electric microphone with the channel up-down buttons. Okay. So on this side you have your emergency channel 1, emergency channel 2, and off. You have a USB port right here. Okay. That is 5 volt, 2.1 amps, and it has a little plug. You have your NB-ANL, NB-ANL high cut, NB or ANL, and off. You have your CB, Talkback, or PA. You have your weather alert. You have your function for your menu and also for Vox. This is your power and volume, and this is your squelch or auto squelch. This is your channel changer, and that is your classic meter. So they put an actual classic looking meter meter into the radio. On the back we have, let's get this all squared away here. On the back of the radio you have it hardwired in, so there's no plug that pulls out. You have your external speaker, PA, Vox in, and your SO239, and a little bit of a heat sink there. So we'll go over some basic functions of the radio. Get it plugged in here, powered up. So we'll go through actually when you turn it on, you'll see MICEL. Okay, that means the microphone in the radio is set to the electric microphone. We're going to get into that here in the menus. So if you just want to first hear the weather, you push that there. It will.
20% chance of snow.
Okay.
Low is around 20.
What the weather does, it will do a scan and pick up the most prominent, signal. There's a couple different weather channels in there, and it will display it on screen for you to hear. So we're going to go into the menu. First one we have is microphone type, electric or dynamic. So what is dynamic for? Well, dynamic is for when you're going to use your Ranger SRA 198, or if you were going to use like an old power mic, okay, an old 575 M6, or your static microphones, or any non-electric microphone. That is in the menu where you're going to set that to dynamic. Okay. Your next one is reset. That's to reset all the menus. Next one is color. Got green, blue, cayenne, yellow, purple, clear, orange, and back to green. Next one is dim. How bright or dim you want to make the radio. It goes all the way off to 9. Key beep on or off. That's every time we touch a key, if you want it to beep or not. Roger beep on or off. You have a Roger beep in this. This will check the SWRs. It sends a little carrier out and it senses the SWR. I mean, would you trust it? I don't know. You'd have to check it against your meter. So we hit function again. It sends a little carrier out and it says my SWR is 1.0. Okay. And then I turn it off just to get out of that menu. And then your emergency channels, over here you have emergency 1 or 2. You can set whatever channel you want for emergency 1 or emergency 2. So right now it's emergency 1 is 9, emergency 2 is 19. If you just hold this or tap that, you can change your channels to whatever you want. This has Vox. Read the manual. There are 3 settings for Vox. There's L, A, and T. You want to read the manual and set them up for your voice in your background environment. It's going to be different if you're in a vehicle versus a house versus a noisy area. There's 3 Vox settings you'll have to play with in there. And then you got PA set. That's for your PA here. You can have your PA set to off. You can have it set to PA. And you can have it set to input. I leave it off. I don't use the PA. And then we're back to the mic element. Electret or dynamic, the mic type. So that is how you are going to use your menu. There's not much in there, not much you can do. So we're going to leave this on mic Electret. And we're going to plug the stock mic in right here. And we'll just go ahead and hold this in. And that enables Vox. So I don't have to key up the microphone. I can just start talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see the meter. The meter is moving as I'm talking. Okay, that's because I do have Vox set up for this environment. A little bit of noise in the background, stuff like that. But I do have those 3 settings set. And if you want to take Vox off, just hold it again, and Vox is off. The BP here shows that you have the key beep on. If you have your Roger beep, that'll also light up. It'll show, of course, you're on AM, and what's nice, it shows the frequency. One thing about the radio is there are 0 adjustments inside this radio. There's no power and modulation adjustments in here to turn. You have to have the service manual for the radio. Even in the service manual, there's very limited adjustments. There's just power, modulation, and a couple other things to adjust. So that's a nice thing. Stock, it comes about 3.8 watts, and it's doing about 87-88% modulation out of the box. So I did go in the service manual, bring it up to 4 watts, and brought a little about 95-96% modulation. So that is your little President Taylor FCC radio. I'm going to show you one more thing about Talkback. Again, we're in a dummy load, so I'm going to transmit here. You know, we're not going to be on air, but we'll just, for giggles, go to a clear channel. Well, there's always a clear channel dummy load. Anyway, to use Talkback, you put the CB in this mode. To adjust Talkback, you key up while you talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you key up the microphone. As you talk, you spin the channel dial to adjust the Talkback level from 1 to 9. If you want to take Talkback off, simply flick it up to CB mode. So that is your President Taylor FCC radio. Again, if you're going to get one, go into the manual for the Vox settings. That's probably about the most tricky thing you're going to have is setting up the Vox. Other than that, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory.